OnlyFans is a weird subject. I can't believe that something like that can absolutely take over the world, and there's lots of people who dump millions of dollars into something such as that. However, I do want to talk about why I personally find it just kind of despicable, almost kind of like incoherently, like I get a brain fart just thinking about it. I mean, really sit down and think about the stupidity of humanity. Think about how bad it's gotten. I mean, I know it's been bad in the past, but holy fuck knuckles, it's gotten even worser. The fact we actually have people who drop millions of dollars every year to see girls post lewd photos, sometimes, pornographic photos, but most of the time, very lewd photos. Now keep that in mind when I then pair it back to you that some of these models on OnlyFans make more money than most of the backbone of America. And I don't mean combined, I mean single individuals who post lewd photos on the internet and do photo shoots showing off their body make more money than almost the entirety of the backbone of America. Teachers, police officers, firefighters, all these people make less money than a person pulling a fucking goatsy on the camera. Why? Well, how do we get here? It's one thing to say that actors get paid millions of dollars. It's even wilder to think that streamers and content creators like myself make millions of dollars. Of course, I don't make millions of dollars, but there are some people that some others may perceive as untalented, unskilled, untrained, don't work very hard, and they get big rewards. That's true. It is true. That's the beauty of living in a capitalistic society. I always tell people I both love and hate our capitalistic society, because that means that sometimes we have people like OnlyFans models who can get away with posting such things and get paid millions of dollars, I guess. It doesn't matter. If life is kicking you in your balls, dude, just go take your shirt off and drop your pants and just start fucking twirling your dick around like a helicopter. Maybe you'll start earning some money. And it's a shame, too, because most of these are people who actually do work hard, the people who actually do important things to our society, truck drivers, doctors, firefighters, police officers, teachers, all these people, they keep the world spinning, man. They keep the world going, man. They're rising up our next generation and protecting us, and they don't get paid shit. And you wonder why public education has gotten so bad. It's preposterous. It's a problem with our society that we have, and unfortunately, I don't think there's any fixing it. And I pray for future generations, because we all know Gen Z. Their attention span is about as long as fucking Kris Jenner's penis. You know what I mean? It's gotten bad. Like, some of these kids can't pay attention to nothing, man. Like, you could dangle some cheese. Like they used to say, if you can dangle some keys in front of somebody, they'll keep their attention. I don't even think dangling keys in front of somebody is going to keep their attention, especially with how some of these kids are nowadays. I can understand an actor being famous and getting paid millions of dollars. I can even see a content creator getting paid millions of dollars and being famous. Because at least those situations, it does take a little bit of talent to perform, to act, to write sometimes, to say and express creativity and come up with new ideas to entertain your audiences. What exactly are you doing as an OnlyFans model that's entertaining besides just showing off your body in different positions in different lewd ways? And the fact is, there's so many fucking horny people out there who will pay for this, man. We've had strip clubs for a very long time, probably 100+ years at this point, man. Hell, porn is free. But you're paying for something that's free in other places, and guess what? This might shock you now. It's free in real life. If you actually leave the internet, I'm telling you, man, it's like a cheat code to real life, bro. I mean, hear me out, man. I'm an expert, man. The pussy master's here. There's actually free pussy out there in the wild. If you just go fucking talk to a woman instead of sitting on your phone all day or being on the internet all day. I know, it's fascinating, all right? I'm telling you. But again, there are actually people who pay money to see girls and sometimes even guys in lewd positions or sometimes full frontal. I mean, I'm talking Moonlight is lit, the whole fucking thing. They pay money for that. That literally takes no skill. I mean, I guess, yes, technically, you do have to be blessed with good looks. You do have to be blessed enough to be fine. That's how we get models. That's how we get, porn stars. I get it. Some people are just objectively born, prettier than others. I get that. But that's not talent. That's just you're blessed. And I hate the fake humbleness that some of these people try to put on. I'm blessed. I'm humbled. I pay for my family. It's just, you have no fucking skills. You have no talent. I don't think for a second that somebody like that has any skill or talent or even an interesting personality at that point. You know what I mean? It's just like, being a exotic dancer, we'll call it. Being an exotic dancer for a very long time was something that was shunned upon. It was looked down upon. You know what I mean? It was for people who didn't have anything else left in life. They had no skills, no talent. All they could really do was, dance. You know what I mean? However, I would honestly say that being a stripper, being an exotic dancer, it might actually even take more skill than being an OnlyFans. Because when you're an OnlyFans artist, all you got to do is just post photos. You don't even have to perform. You don't even have to get personal with any of these people. You don't even have to see them. You just post photos out there on the big, wild world web, and then people just start rolling in dough. I mean, it's like a cheat code to life. Besides you obviously degrading your body and objectifying yourself. However, I would say at least a stripper has to actually put some effort. You know what I mean? At least they have to actually dance. They actually gotta go climbing up and down a pole, as T-Pain says. You're just posting photos. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm out of touch. I don't know. But I would never in my life, ever, and I recommend this to many people. Again, you're allowed to do whatever you want with your money. Whether I approve of it or not, I don't have control over your wallets. However, I can influence. That is my job, however. I would never pay for porn. I would never do that. I don't think I've ever do that. I've paid for many things in my life. I've paid for movies. I've paid for video games. I've paid for tickets to go watch sports games. But I don't think I've ever paid for porn. No, I've never even paid for sex before. I find that to be preposterous. I find it to be dumbfounding that there's people who actually do that. You're allowed to do what you want with your money. I think you're stupid. I think you're just fucking stupid. I'm just going to outright say it. I think you're dumb. I highly doubt this video will get any views, but I feel like talking about OnlyFans is something that I've been kind of leading up to for a while. I remember a few months back, I made that OnlyFans drama video about how, the OnlyFans artists were taking advantage of Grok on Twitter, and they were intentionally making lewd photos of themselves, and Grok was basically doing their jobs for a while there. However, Grok don't do it no more if you ain't got a premium membership. So even something as crazy and as lewd and as fucking like wild as that, like even it has a subscription service. So I don't know. If you want my advice, don't be an OnlyFans artist. Pick up some real talents. Pick up some real skill. Go to school. Go to college. Grow a personality. Even if you don't have one, you can always develop one. It's never too late to find yourself, to find your personality, to be an interesting person. Express creativity, as I always say. I always enjoy expressing my creativity. Obviously, I sit here and talk to you losers all the time. However, yeah, I had to talk about this because OnlyFans is something that is nuts to me, and the fact that it makes more money every year than the entirety of the backbone of America makes me sad, because that just means that we are getting closer and closer to the doom. We're getting closer and closer to 2012. It's bound to happen. Judgment Day is coming. It's inevitable at this point. We are cooked, as they say. So, yeah, that's about it. So, see ya.